If you only have one, very simple. It's one left, one right. And here's the funny thing is that a newbie doesn't understand a team build. So a team build is that the only way somebody occupies one of these positions is either you personally enroll them, somebody above you enroll them, or somebody below you enroll them. So there is a scenario where sometimes, and it's not the majority of the time, but sometimes somebody above you is aggressively building and you're in their money leg, and you do get people joining your team that you didn't even know. And I've had numerous people who didn't know anything. They wanted that top spot on their right leg for somebody. They were holding it for somebody, and somebody fell in there. Who's this person in that right leg? That's no, I had that for my friend Mary. This is the kind of thing you get. People get all upset
Yeah,
that somebody was placed on their team. Anybody gets placed on your team by somebody above you, that's a blessing. All of a
yeah,
sudden, you got blessed with somebody you didn't even know and nobody you knew, and somebody above you is aggressively building and they ended up on your team. That's a blessing because you have the opportunity to earn on that person forever. And
right.
and whatever they build. If they build a team of 100 people, you got 100 people underneath you that were given to you. It was a
You
blessing.
get that volume right,
You
Ed.
get that
Yeah,
volume. So when it comes down to what I love about a binary is that a sale is a sale is a sale is a sale. Doesn't matter how far down it comes in. It could be 100 levels deep. That sale comes in, you get paid on it the same exact way as you do whether they're immediately underneath you, no matter what level it is. So the strategy should be always outside left, outside right. Now, when you first get started, before you personally make a sale, depending on whether or not you have people underneath you, you'll determine whether they go left or right. And we always build outside right and outside left. Once you get to a point where you have a runaway leg, meaning that you got 25 people in your right leg and three people in your left leg. So that right leg for right now, for the immediate future, is your runaway leg. You want to be building and putting people in your left leg, which is the lesser leg, simply because that's what you get paid on. You get paid
right.
10 to 20% on the lesser leg's volume. And so I often get the question, well, what's the difference between 10 and 20%? It's based on your personal sales. Cumulative sales over any period of time. When you start out, you're at 10%. When you personally sell $10,000 worth of product, you move up to 12%. Then 20,000 personal sales, you move up to 14%. Then you move up to 16, and then every 10,000 increment, when you've sold $50,000 worth of product, uh, you're locked and loaded forever at 20% of your lesser leg. I hit that a long time ago. If you didn't hit that yet, that should be one of your goals, is to max out your lesser legs percentage. You do that with personal sales. And you could have one per matter of fact. I was on the phone with a guy today that made a $50,000 purchase. Just one sale, $50,000 purchase. I went straight to 20%, just like that. Um,
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know, Ed. Yeah, so 50,000 personal sale volume gets you to 20%.
yes.
Okay.
So I think I rambled enough
Yeah,
to ask for questions. I don't want to say too much because then it gets
that's
information
good.
overload.
That's good. Okay, Sean, do you have any more questions?
Um, no, I'm gonna stick right here with the binary tree. I think I was trying to walk through it with him to show people what to do. So I guess what the moving the because I've been looking at some of the other people on my team. Sometimes I'm looking at their information to sort of see where we are. So I see I have way too many on my left leg. So if I see that they have too many, am I doing the right thing by telling them to change their um, leg placement from the left to the right, right?
Yeah,
Or yeah.
as soon as you have a dominant leg, what we call a runaway leg, and a
Hmm.
runaway leg could be forever. It could be for the next month or two. It really depends on how big you go. Um, and here's what it comes down to. What it comes down to is the context and credibility of the people that join that leg. You could have a lesser leg flip, and I've had this. I had over 200 people in one leg and 75 people in the other leg. Then a few months later, that leg with 75 was bigger than the other one, so I had to flip. And
Flip, yeah.
you want to keep an eye on that. You want to keep an eye on that because not only is that where you make your money, but you want to be in control of where you're placing people. Because the last thing you want to do is place a person into your dominant leg that might be a runaway leg and you didn't need to put them there and they become a huge success. And then you're kicking yourself. Why did I put them in that leg? I should have put them in the other leg. You want to control that. And I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen and you end up um, you know, not hitting. So what you're looking for really is you're looking for people who are winners, leaders, champions, and legends that end up, coming into your team because, you stack a few of those people together, and all of a sudden a leg takes off that you can never catch. And you want to be in control of your personals based on where they're best needed. So there's another thing that comes into effect sometimes. Sometimes people just want to put somebody on the same team as somebody else. They're mutual friends, they're family members, and they want them all in one leg. That's understandable. If you want to do that. But when it comes down to just strategy and how to maximize the comp plan and your earnings, you want to be aware of left leg and right leg volume. And once you're banking volume, which by the way, on the power on the dominant leg, that volume doesn't disappear. It just keeps going. It doesn't flush. On the lesser leg, there could be some flush, and it's happened to me numerous times, even till this day. I'm a leader, which means on the 10 20%. So let me go through that. What your maximum per day is. So when you become a difference maker, you can make up to $100 a day on your lesser leg. You're maxed at $100. When you move up to winner, then you're maxed at $200. Now, Leonard, here's why you want to get the leader also. Chandra, here's why you want to get the leader also. When you go from winner to leader, your daily max goes from 200 a day to 2,000 a day.
Good
That's a big
Lord.
jump. Yeah.
Mhm.
So there are numerous days that I hit that cap. And had I been champion, let's say my lesser leg commissions would have been 3,500. I lose that 1,500. I get the 2,000. I don't get the 3,500. And that burns me.
That's a sickening feeling.
Yeah. But that's motivation. That says
Yeah,
get to, and that's where I'm at right now. That's why I want to help everybody here is because you advance in rank by helping other people hit their next rank, right? So I want to help Pastor Leonard hit leader and all the other people I mentioned before because that's going to make me champion. I'm going to hit champion. I know I am. And it's possible we do that, this week. Um, but I
I
know if
know.
you focus on these things that we're talking about, all of a sudden it gets your butt in gear, right? Because
Yeah,
now you have a goal, you have an incentive, and you're charging after something. It makes a world of a difference as opposed to just sitting there, getting on the conference calls, listening to what's happening. When you're building, you want to move from rank to rank to rank to rank, always focusing on that next rank and utilizing Zig Ziglar's philosophy. You could have everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You said
Ed,
something important there. Oh, go ahead, Shonda.
I was just going to ask him to, when it comes to, I guess from the, what is that, difference maker and winners, those have to be personal, right? But when you go to leader, is it any leg? Is it, does it have to be personal? I'm confused with the
Yeah.
information I'm
So
getting back from
so
support.
the difference maker again is one cell left, one cell right. When it comes to leader, you need three legs. You need to have enrolled three people
Hmm.
that have all hit their leg, not the individual you personally enrolled. The difference maker requires them to be those two have to be personal. But Winner? No, they could be three DMs anywhere. The DMs could come from 2 levels deep, 3 levels deep, 5 levels deep, doesn't matter. You need three legs that have a difference maker in each. And
Oh, so
same
you
thing
don't
Three
on
have
here.
the
different legs.
person's name. Okay.
Um, So if I have someone on my first level who becomes winner, and then they have somebody on their first level that becomes winner, um, only one of those winners will count, correct? Because that's on the same leg.
Okay. So Chandra, I'm going to ask for permission. Um,
Hmm.
and maybe I'm not accurate in what I'm going to say, but in training, quite often I ask people, "Do you give me permission to treat you with tough love?" And usually they say yes. And so
Yes.
I was speaking to a brand new person today, and
Hmm.
I was probably a little too strong, and I should have asked her that question first, because once she says yes, then I could say what I'm about to say. So, um, yes, when you say on my first level, I'd
Hmm.
suggest that if you're gonna say first level and you're referring to the binary like we're looking at those first two
Yeah.
spots, I would use the word binary
Binary. Okay.
because there's a difference between your 15 level unilevel, which is your family tree, which is your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids, all the way down. That's a bloodline. The binary is not a bloodline. The
Okay.
binary could be people from above you that will play. So I only use, they're on my first level, second level, third level. I only use that terminology pertaining to the unilevel, the 15 level unilevel. I'd suggest we eliminate using levels in the binary
Okay.
unless you're going to state they're on my first level in the binary or my second level in the binary. Then it's clear. Then it's not confusing. Um,
Okay.
okay.
So if this person right here is at winner on my
Right.
binary, and then let's just say this person right here who's directly up under him um, is winner as well. I'm trying to figure out if it's two winners or is this one winner
Okay.
that would count.
I'm thrilled you're asking this question, Chandra, because
Yeah.
what we're going to talk about, I talk about third grade math. I don't know if you remember third grade math. I remember third grade math. My 10-year-old cousin helped me memorize the multiplication chart, right? It's like third grade
Hmm.
math. When you first enter it, you're confused. You don't get it. What's 7 times 6 again? Oh, until you memorize it, and even till adulthood, right? Sometimes that equation is hard for somebody to think. Two, 2 times 2, we got it. 5 times 5, we got it. But when we get into those other numbers, it's tough, right? So it's kind of like
Hmm.
third grade math. For the most part, when you got it, you got it. And I'm thrilled you're asking this question, simply because the binary is how we get paid. The unilevel dictates our advancement in rank. So it
Okay.
doesn't matter if you have a winner on top of a winner in the binary. That's not going to affect your
Hmm.
rank advancement. Rank advancement is only affected by your 15 level unilevel, by your lineage, by your bloodline.
Okay.
When we're thinking about advancing in rank, we shouldn't be looking at this right here. Let's do this. Go to downline. Click on downline.
Yeah.
When you click on downline, you're going to see your family tree. Now this is lineage. Okay. Yeah. So see the pluses. That means
Hmm.
that person enrolled somebody, and bang, now it shows the second level. Click on that first pop, that first plus. Bang, now it shows the third level. Click on that plus, the one that's right there. Yeah. And dang, and then click on that one. And so now you see all the levels from you
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your uni level. This is your bloodline. This is how you advance in rank. So that one, the third person down that you clicked on, where right now it
Hmm.
looks like a minus sign, it was a plus sign.
Yeah.
That's a team. That's what we call a leg. All those people are in the same leg. You only
Okay.
need one
Gotcha.
difference maker to come out of that team to
Hmm.
qualify one of your legs. So there could be a difference maker 3, 4, 5 levels deep, and bang, that leg is now a qualified difference maker leg.
But this is the leg I'm actually referring to because the person up here is already at winner. The person
Okay.
here has turned into winner right up under it.
So far as qualification goes, if the
Hmm.
highest achievement level in that leg is winner, that's a winner
Yeah,
leg.
that's a winner leg.
If
Okay.
somebody down there becomes a leader, that's a leader leg. If somebody down there becomes a champion, that's a champion leg, right? So
Oh, okay,
so
got it. Okay.
that's what you look at when you try to figure out who do I have to help to get to the next level. So
Hmm.
so at this point in time, that leg solidifies one leg of the three that you need. You need three winner legs to go leader.
Okay, got it now.
Right. Hey, this was
Mhm.
good that we did this.
Yeah.
It helps put a visual on it.
Well,
All right.
Ed, I know you got another meeting. Uh, we will take maybe one more question. If you have a question about compensation plan, if you have a question about ranking up, go ahead and open your mic or raise your hand. Because Ed does have another meeting. Uh, you can ask you to do that this time if you got a question.
By the way, Pastor, usually I recommend that we do, and we stated up front, you and I talked about a half hour because I was going to do something during the second hour half, and I didn't schedule that. So
Okay,
so we could stretch it a little bit if you want, but what I would say
okay,
is, let's go maximum uh, either to a quarter after or 30. So let's see what we can get done by a quarter after. So you got me to
okay.
quarter after.
All right, sounds good. All right, so somebody who's difference maker trying to get the winner, somebody trying to get the difference maker. And often, Ed, we hear that to make it simple, a lot of times for people, just focus on difference maker, creating difference makers and duplicating that process, and the rest will take care of itself. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yes and no, and here's why. If we duplicate difference maker, we got two, got two, got two, got two, and we don't advance in the comp plan at all. In order to advance past difference maker, it's got to be three. So this is something that I'm going to be pushing for because the sale of these products are getting so easy that I think the first qualification to become difference maker, we move up from two to three. So I don't know if we're going to do that, but for all intents and purposes, to go to the top of the comp plan, we got to duplicate three. So let's encourage every new person to get their three. Yes, when they get their two, they're difference maker, but let's help them get three because that's what it takes to advance past that position.
So, as a team, if we want to grow as a team and everybody come along the same way, we promote three
Yes. So let me do
instead
the
of two.
let me do the rhythmic approach that I do. And follow me along when you show fingers. Three who get three, who get three, who get three. That's just duplicating three four times to the fourth power. Three who get three, who get three, who get three. Three who get three makes you a winner. Who get three makes you a leader. Who get three makes you a champion. Who get three makes you a legend. So just imagine if everybody's a robot and they do the exact same thing. Let's just say, not every day because it's not realistic, but saying week is cool too. We'll hit that in a second. But every month, let's say every month, I had a mentor that was one of the top earners in the first company I worked in, and he went all the way up to $800 a month in income. And he used to talk about, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And he had an analogy. He said, imagine if you could take a magic pill. And by taking the magic pill, all it did was cause you to sign up, buy a node, and get three people to buy a node. That's it. And you never do anything else again. All you did was you took the pill, which made you get a node and get three people to get a node. And they all took the pill. Who got took three people So if that was done in a weekly manner, everybody could be a legend within 5 weeks. By the fifth week, you're a legend. If it's month, by the fifth month, you're a legend, right? It's that simple. And back then, I used to think, man, everybody would do this. Why, why doesn't everybody do this? It's so simple. Three will
Yeah.
get three, get three, get three. Makes you a legend. That's it. Duplicate three to the fourth power, you're a legend. Everybody, now we're not talking about buying 10 pack or 5 pack or spending 30,000 or 50,000. We're just talking about 1,200. You bring in three, who get three, who get three, who get three. That makes you legend. It's that simple.
Okay. All right.
Sounds a lot easier than it is.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
We
Anyone
had somebody, a
else?
couple of people raise their hands.
Okay.
All right. So who's well, I thought I saw someone with a hand raised, but I don't see him anymore.
Oh, that was me, Chandra.
Linda?
Hi, it's
Okay.
Linda. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the call. My first, I guess, concern for myself is that I'm not the best salesperson. And although I invite so many people to these calls, they never come. And I'm having a difficult time getting them to come on board. And I want so much for them to understand it in the most simple language that you did it today. I thought it was beautiful. I would prefer that you speak to me like I'm a third grader because then I know how simple things are going to be and that they're so
Cool.
understandable. And so I've really enjoyed you breaking this down and seeing the ease with which you can create legs, both strong and, present, if you want to say that, as opposed to strong and weak. But I mean, I really get it. I'm having a hard time getting people to get to these calls so they can listen to all this information that you shared, Chandra, and then Pastor Leonard, and everybody who's on here is making so much sense. And I want to have people excited and really get on board. And I'm just having the most hard time. And so I'm assuming I'm just at my one level because I've purchased under someone who's on our team. So.
Awesome. Linda, thank you for all that input. And because you asked that question, we might go longer than I said we'll go. And I want to unload it on you guys. So, and I know we're recording this, so you'll have it. Um, Based on just the few things that you said, I could train for an hour. We're not going to do that, but I'm going to give you some real valuable training because I want to help you um, avoid the pitfalls and the and the landmines that everybody has to figure out to
Mhm.
go around. So you're here, and if I could short circuit it or make it an easier path, um, and that's what I opened up with. It's my
Mhm.
prayer that you can learn something here today. So I'm gonna unload on you just on,
Okay.
and again, I could go an hour on this. I'm only gonna
Boy,
go about
get your pens and
10
pencils out.
minutes. Okay. First off, there's a great phrase that you want to commit to, and that is when the why is big enough, the how will follow.
Perfect.
And that needs to be the first thing you look at is why are you here? Why am I here? Everybody here. Why are we here? We're all here because we have hopes, we have ambitions, we have dreams. And those things have to become crystallized as to what it is you want to accomplish. And you have to write them down. They have to become a part of you. The more you think about it, the more greater the chances are you can get there. So that before we do the how to, we got to do the why to. And so I encourage everybody, you know, you could go online and look up a goal setting. I'll give you some simple stuff right now. We'll do a real miniature goal setting seminar. You got to figure out why you're here and ask yourself that question. And so I can only share with you what the reason why I'm here. The reason why I'm here is, I'm retired. I have a pension. I have my Social Security. My wife's got her Social Security. We have a real nice house. We worked day one. We got married at 20. We were both 21 when we got married. And my wife said to me, Ed, we're going to work hard, but we're going to play hard too. We're going to vacation every year. That became a goal. Vacation every year. Every year we've went on at least one vacation. And so that's a goal. You got to have a goal. You gotta set it, you gotta write it down. And that could be here right now. What are your goals? It could be vacation, it could be travel, it could be a home, it could be, you know, church. I know Pastor Leonard, he's building a church. I know one of his goals. So you gotta have that goal. It's gotta be something that's at the forefront because it's the thing that could drive you. So you gotta write down your goals. Once you know what your why is, you'll go through brick walls. Then when you have that, I learned from Zig Ziglar and I was able to work with him the power of auto suggestion. When you say I'm a winner, I'm a winner, I'm a winner, you start thinking about what it takes to get to winner. You believe that you're a winner and it gravitates. I have a whiteboard on the wall over there. When I first started, I bought one node. And I thought about it, and I was told by people, I knew nothing about nodes. I didn't know what they were or how they operate. I didn't know. And I'm a leader in the company, right? And they say, hey, we're going to market, we're going to sell these nodes. And I'm going, real, okay, well, what is that? So I heard that a node, and there are some nodes that could pay you $10 a day. And there are some nodes that could pay you $100 a day. And I'm like, okay, well, I like $100 days. I used to be a substitute teacher at one time and I got paid $100 a day. I could relate to that. So if I buy a node and all I gotta do is press a button and it pays me $100, I want that. But then I do what I normally do. I'm gonna encourage everybody. Learn the 10x principle. Grant Cardone is a great trainer to teach you on the 10x. I like him. I love Patrick Bet David. Instead of calling it 10x, he calls zero up. Just put a zero on the end. That causes you to 10x, right? So I bought the one node, and what happened for me was I had it. One of my leaders, Robert Fitzgerald, who's a phenomenal leader in a company, he says, hey, yeah, did you hook up your node yet? And I said, no, I didn't get around to it. And he said, what? You got it? How long you got it? I said, 3 weeks. He goes, you're losing money. You got to get that hooked up. Let me help you hook it up. It'll only take 2 minutes. I said, okay. So I hooked it up and sure enough, started getting rewards every day. Okay. Now I'm thinking, okay, if I could get this up to a point where it's making 100 a day, I like $100 days, but I like to 10x that, zero up, put a zero on it. I like $1,000 days. What do I need? I need 10 nodes. So I wrote it up on the board. 10 nodes by a certain date. You got to put a date on it. You can't be a wandering generality and say, I want a car. It's got to be a meaningful specific. I want a BMW X5 white with camel interior. You got to go out and test drive that car. You got to feel it. You got to smell it. You got to know what it is that you're running after. You got to put it on that board. You got to put a date on it. I'm going to have this by this date. Now, all of a sudden, your subconscious mind goes to work for you, especially if you repeat those goals to yourself multiple times a day, morning, noon, and night, or at the very least, once in the morning, once at night before you go to sleep. When you do it at night before you go to sleep, it's magic because your subconscious goes to work on you. You'll be shocked what happens. When I do stuff at night, I plan. And okay, so I'm going to give you my secret sauce. You want to know who wants my secret sauce? Chandra, you want my secret sauce? Okay. Write this down. PrEP. PREP. It's an acronym. The Lord told me, I prayed to the Lord. I said, Lord, I need a step-by-step system. You gotta lead me. I don't know what to do here. And the Lord said, pray, read, exercise, and plan in that order. That's what I do every day. In the morning, I wake up, I do my morning devotional. I do the book of Proverbs every day where I go into the day of the month. Today was the 20th day. And every time I listen, I learn something new. And I've been doing this a long time. I love the book of Proverbs by Solomon. And then I do my daily devotional. So I'm reading scripture, I'm listening. Um, that's number one. Number two is read. I'm reading that stuff simultaneously that I listen to. And um, prep, PREP, exercise is the next thing that I do. And I get those out of the way in the morning. This morning, I woke up at 5. I was at the gym at 6. At 7:30, I was at my daughter's house picking up my granddaughters, getting them on the bus, getting the 3-year-old to preschool. That's what I do every day. And so that's a plan, right? I plan my day. And at night, I write down what I have to do tomorrow and I set goals for tomorrow. That's my secret sauce. Pray, read, exercise, and plan. So once you do that, it's on your mind. What you think about comes about. Linda, I told you I was going to go off.
Well, I appreciate everything you're saying. This is wonderful. I just really started my exercise yesterday on Monday. So the power of Mondays does speak well in my life. So yes, I have vowed to do all of these things, and I'm just gonna write just write what which is what I
Let,
do. So
let me help you with the exercise portion because sometimes we
hmm
just don't have the time
hmm
and we might miss a day.
hmm
Last year, I worked out 365 days. This year, I'll work out 365 days. This year, I eliminated alcohol. I won't drink. You know,
that's
what
so
what
awesome.
what that does is it exercises your willpower.
Hmm.
And right now, we need that.
Yes.
Especially to maximize this incredible blessing we got in front of us. So, when it comes to exercise, my suggestion to you is this: find something that only takes 5 minutes, and at the very least, do that.
Yes.
For me, it's push-ups, pull-ups,
Mhm.
sit-ups, and dips. For me, it's full body squats. Full body squats are great, by the way. Um, you know, have something. Somebody's mic is open. Can we mute out that person, please? So thank you. So uh, when it comes to exercise, do that. But I want to go further because you said some other things. I'm going to try to remember what you said. Okay, so we covered when your why is big enough, the how will follow. So we talked about that. We got to talk about the how, and that's where you I could give you a lot of help. Um, Inviting people to these calls is great, but it's not the first step. It should be the second step. The first step should be sharing a video with them or two. And I'll tell you the ones I'm using right now. I'm using the 8-minute video where Russ Gerson, who's one of our newest members of Mediterra's board, talks about Stephen Norris. And it's just uh, the it's just Russ and Douglas. That if you don't have that one, it's just scroll up. Go. Everybody here should be on Bellator Telegram group. That's the communications from the company. It's up there. Find it. And so I just send that out. And basically, I look to say as little as possible. I just want them to say yes. They'll take a look at this, and I do kind of give them an inference. And for me, I talk about Wall Street Capital. They just partnered with us and who these people are. And I talk about primarily Stephen Moore and Stephen Norris. I might make mention of John Bear, who's our, technologist that built Cellular One, sold it to AT&T, built Grapevine, sold it to Google, and Google still uses it till this day, and built what's known as today streaming video, and that's what Netflix is on. He's our chief technologist. So if you want to learn who Stephen Moore is, I'm sorry, John Bear, go listen to that. Right, great guy. Understand who's our partner. Number two, Stephen Moore. I always say I've seen him on the news shows. He was a economic advisor to a president of the United States. He was actually the current president's choice to head the Fed, to be the chairman of the Fed, and he turned that down for family reasons. Stephen Moore is on our board of advisors, and then I brag about Stephen uh, Norris, who was chief counsel for the Marriott Corporation, served 10 years as a CEO. And here's an important thing about Stephen Norris. Stephen Norris is a co-founder of what's known as it's an equity partners, um, private equity, the Carlyle Group, which today is a $600 billion a year entity. And even more than that, private equity was Stephen Norris's idea. He created private equity. He made the Carlyle Group reside in DC, where all the power players were, and all of a sudden he got all kinds of big money coming in and funding incredible things, including things like Amazon when it was just selling books. And he licensed the books to Amazon. And then he got a whole bunch of investment capital to invest in Amazon. How would you like to be partners with a guy like that? He's on our board. That's it. Now, let's say I'm talking to you, Linda. I say, Linda, this may be for you, it may not. I just feel obligated to share with you because there is something here that you could buy one time and get paid on every single day. And potentially what we sell for $1,200 could potentially earn you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially even millions of dollars. So I'm going to send you these two little videos. One is 8 minutes. Watch that right away. And then the second one is a little longer. It's 43 minutes. Watch it in parts if you need to. But several of the people I just mentioned were in a boardroom at the company's home office in Northern Cyprus. Watch that. And when that's over, if you see something here that you want to be a part of, I recommend it, and I'll get you to the next step and show you how we do this. Is that fair enough? So what you're doing is you're letting third party information do the work. They're going to
Yes.
listen to the experts. After they watch that and they express interest, then I put them on the Zoom.
Okay.
That's my first step.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you're goal oriented, how many people a day are you going to show that video to? Those videos.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are
Mm-hmm.
you going to talk to and get to watch those videos? So I want everybody to write this down. One a day keeps failure away. That's your goal. Every day is to get somebody watching that video. One a day keeps failure away. Two a day equals money. To in a 30-day month, if you get two people a day, that's 60 people. Trust me, you'll be one of the top producers in the company. Three a day
Mm-hmm.
will make you an absolute fortune. It's not selling the whole deal. You said something earlier where you want it for people. That's the number one pitfall for a new person is wanting it for other people more than they want it for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to eliminate that. You got to take it away. You got to be cool, calm, and collected. Say, hey, Linda, it might be for you, it may not. If it
Mm-hmm.
is, fantastic. If it's not, that's okay too. I appreciate you taking a look. But take a look at these videos. Let's talk tonight or let's talk tomorrow. At the very least, just give me your honest feedback. And
Mm-hmm.
this is a gem, guys. This is being recorded right now. What I'm going to give you is a gem. I've used this probably the last 30 years, and it works like a gem. Linda, if you like what you see, and I think that you will, we'll take the next step. And if it's not for you, that's okay too. Fair enough?
Yes. That's
I heard one
wonderful.
of my buddies say that once. I said, Dave, say that again. I got to write that down.
I
And
did
I've
write
been
everything
using it,
down.
and I'll use it multiple times in the recruiting process. So you're not going to get everybody on day one.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get some people express an interest. You're going to get them on a video, another video. You got to get them to a presentation. And write this down. On average, for people to make a buying decision in real world, it takes 7 to 8 exposures. Think about that. You go to buy a car, you might go to 3, 4, 5 different dealerships. You might look at 7, 8, 9, 10 different cars. Anything that you're shopping for. I know my wife loves to shop. I don't know how you can stay in one store so long, but they'll spend all this time looking at all this stuff, right? You got to see something. That's why commercials just keep running over and over again. People have to see it multiple times. No difference here. Write this one down. The fortune is in the follow-up. Most people who join a network like this don't follow up at all. They showed the person one time and they gave up. They quit. If they didn't sign them up, no, you got to keep going back, and you can't let weeks, days pass. It's got to
Mm-hmm.
be every other day. You picking up the phone. Hey Joe, listen, I just had this happen. What are you doing tonight? Whatever it is, you got to follow up. In the terms of what we have here, I think the average follow up is only going to be two or three to close
Hmm.
somebody.
Hmm.
But if all you do is show them one thing, remember what we did here. We showed them a couple of videos. Then the second step was we got them on a call. That's two. You might close them there. You might need one more thing. Now I'm going to teach you. Now, Linda, you just opened up a can that I can't stop. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the 3 minute. I'm going to try to do this in 3 minutes. Um, so now you're at a point where um, you've showed it to somebody over and over and over again. The biggest mistake that people make at this stage is they don't ask for the sale. You got to ask for the sale. Hey, Elta, what did you like best about what you saw? Elta,
Hmm.
let me ask you a question. How many, and I usually do this when I talk about the node and $1,200 node that, so I didn't say this, but in my pitch, what I do say is, right now the nodes are paying 80 Phoenix token a day. Phoenix token right now are worth 7/10 of a penny. So just think about you getting 80 of these things. I believe emphatically that it'll jump to a penny within a month. And I think we'll go to 10 cents within 6 months. And I think we'll go to a dollar within 6 to 24 months. So let's just look at it that way. Let's say right now, every day, you bought it one time, every day, 80, 80, 80, 80 Phoenix token. 80 times 365 is over 29,000. When it gets to a dollar, that's over $29,000. You bought something one time for 1,200. Sometime in the not too distant future, it's worth 29,000. How many do you want? Elta, how many do you want?
I'd like
That's
a
a closing
million.
question. I asked for the sale. See, that's it. That's the how to. So remember we talked about the why. If the why is big enough, the how will follow. We just went over the how to. I just did the sales training. That's it. Now it's consistency. You set those goals, those objectives. When you plan at night, you write down the names of the people you're going to call. You make it priority. You call them. You ask the questions to get them just to see a video. You don't want to spend a half hour. I learned from a guy had a stopwatch, and if at the 45-second mark he had to stop talking, he was just looking for a yes. I call these magic questions. So I'm going to go. I'm going to shoot from the hip, right? I'm going to shoot from the hip, and you could create your magic question. I'll structure it for you. Write this down. If there was a way, dot, 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 would you at least want to know how? If there was a way, dot, 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 would you at least want to know how? That's a magic question. A magic question is time tested to get over 90% of the time a yes. So Elta, I see your beautiful face. I'm gonna use you as my prop. Elta, if there was a way you can get involved with digital technology that nobody knows about today, and in the not too distant future, the whole world is going to be using it, would you at least want to know how?
I would.
Okay. See, I got my yes. Now I say, great. I got a couple of videos I'm going to send you. The first one's 8 minutes. If that strikes your interest or curiosity, watch the 43-minute one. We're dealing with some incredible people. You might even know some of them. They are global business people that I've partnered with. And if you like what you see, and I think that you will, we take the next step. Fair enough?
That's great. Thank you for thinking of me.
Bang, that's it. I'm in and out in a minute or two, and I'm on to the next call. Now, fortune's in the follow up. We have to either touch base tonight or tomorrow. And I'm looking for the next exposure. Next exposure, could be, a Saturday call or another video. And you decide, you tailor make it for people as you go. But you gotta have the goal set, go after it, and all of a sudden what you find out is this business is really easy. I didn't present today. We did a training on what it takes to go to winner, leader, champion, which is very simple. It's all very simple. When you have the simplicity down, I've reached the point at times where I laugh to myself because I'm in control. I know what I'm doing. I know where to go. And if they're belligerent, and there are belligerent people, so here's how I view the world. Everybody I talk to on a scale of 1 to 10 is a 10 until they prove to me otherwise. And if they prove to me otherwise, it's usually a stupid objection. And the three most stupid objections you'll encounter is I don't have the time, I don't have the money, is it a pyramid? When I hear those words, a bell goes off my head. Disqualified. They don't warrant my time anymore. And I move on to the next person. We don't have time to waste.
Perfect.
Then, Linda, you asked Rich, I
Yes.
can't stop.
Okay.
Then understand what a qualified prospect is and write these down. Because another problem that people make is they spend too much time with unqualified prospects. And I don't care if this is a relative, a husband, wife, sister, brother, coworker, whatever it is. You have to figure out if they're a qualified prospect. So you have to know what a qualified prospect is. It's very simple. Qualified prospect number one is open to the idea of making more money. Number two, they have goals, dreams, and desires to do more, to be more, to have more. They want to accomplish more in their life. And number three, they're willing to spend money to make money. I only present to qualified prospects. I don't waste time with people who are trained and conditioned in their life to look at what's wrong instead of looking what's right. People who are looking for what's wrong are just looking to say no. They're just looking to get rid of you. And
Mhm.
sometimes they like you and they know you and they don't want to say no to you. So they'll say something like, well, I've seen things like this and it's just not for me.
Mhm.
Accept that.
Can
Take
you
that.
repeat those last three, please?
Those three things that people say. And I'm not sure, Prince, what you're referring to. Are you referring to the three most popular um, objections? I don't have time. I don't
Yes,
have
sir. The
money.
quality prospect.
Okay, I'm sorry. I went back too far. Qualified prospect is these three things. Number one, they're open to the idea of making more money. Number one, they're open to the idea of making more money. Number two, they have goals, dreams, and desires to do more, to be more, to have more. They have goals, dreams, and desires to do more, to be more, and to have more. And number three, they'll spend money to make money. That's a qualified prospect. They're open to the idea of making more money. They have goals, dreams, and desires to do more, to accomplish more, and they'll spend money to make money. If all you do is present to qualified prospects, your closing ratio goes through the roof. Now you're not wasting your time. We used to talk about show 10, get one, show 10, get one, show 10, get one, show 10, get two. You're getting better. You don't have to do that here. If they're a qualified prospect, you should get at least 30%, 20 to 30% minimum. Now, Prince, if I'm working with you and you and I do this, and I say to you, are they a qualified prospect? And you say yes, and I find out about the prospect a little bit. I say, here's how it works. Prince, I'm going to do the selling. They're going to do the buying. You're going to do the listening and learning. Now, here's what I promise you. In this system, I guarantee you, we're going to close over 50% of the people that are qualified prospects. And with my help, together, we lock arms and let me do my thing. When I'm speaking, you just listen and you learn. We're going to close over 50% of those people.
Wow.
That's it. I'm done. I can't keep going.
I agree. Say, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome
Yeah.
training. Appreciate you. I know Chandra has a training is right after this. So man, this is awesome. guys, y'all learning it from the best. You hear it from the
Yeah.
a man that actually does what he's sharing with us here. Ed has kind of helped turn me into a marketer because I didn't like network marketing. I didn't want nothing to do with it. But I I've become a better marketer. I'll put it like that. So Ed, thank you so much. Chandra, I'll let you if you want to have any closing remarks.
Thank you,
Um,
President Chandra. Thank you so much. I mean, you took a
thank
leadership
you.
road. You're on your way to the top, no doubt about it. I'm thrilled and honored that you're part of the team.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I certainly appreciate your support. Hopefully, Ed was able to answer some questions, maybe some things that he told you some things that you didn't know that and he let you know anyway. But hopefully tonight everybody learned something. I think it was really educational, which I really felt like a lot of people needed it. I know I did. So because I was trying to going back and forth with support, so I was a little lost. So I needed this help tonight. But if you all don't have any other questions for Pastor Martin or Mr. Terranova, then I want to say good night. The only person I'm scheduled to work with is Miss Melanie.
Awesome.
All right.
God bless everybody.
Back
Always, always, always remember the best is yet to come. To God be the glory.
to come.
Yes.
God bless you.
God bless. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Good
Thank
night.
you.